Hi, welcome to the Surratt Law Practice Family Matters videos. I'm Melissa Exline, and I'm here to talk today a little bit about the financial disclosure form. Now, the financial disclosure form is a document that's used in family court matters involving custody and divorce. And so this is a very important document that is used all the time from the court. This is a standardized form, and it's information that the court relies on heavily in looking at how to set child support, perhaps what the alimony amounts should be, and they look at these numbers to decide how are we going to allocate costs between parties during the divorce case. So to say that this is an important document is an understatement, and it does bear you spending a little bit of time to make sure that you understand what it's for and that it's accurate. So I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about the actual mistakes that I see that people make and hopefully get you primed so you can avoid those mistakes. The first thing that I see regularly is people do not actually calculate their income properly. That may sound, fairly simple, but it's not. And here's why. So when you get your financial disclosure form, they're asking you to just put in there your hourly wage and do the multiplication and give them a total gross number based on your hourly wage. But that may not be a clear reflection of what you're actually earning. So if you work less hours in one month than you do in another, or if your income fluctuates a little bit, it may be less simple than you think in just inserting the information into the straightforward court forms that they provide. So what do? What you have to do is you have to look at and provide your actual paycheck information. So with your paychecks, you're going to have a year-to date, and you can average out your year-to-date to provide a little bit more of an accurate information to the court on what you really have earned. And so if you're working full-time or if you're working part-time, you can put that information in. And frankly, the key here is just to be very open, honest, and clear to the court so that the court can make the right decision on what your income is, and then they can have trust in you as to what you're doing in the documents. Okay, so when you're doing this and you're putting the information into your court forms, what you need to do is you need to make sure your math actually matches up with your paycheck stubs. Okay, and what I suggest that you do is after you insert the information, you give the document to a friend or someone else who's going to check your math, make sure that your paycheck information and your year-to date matches up with what you're inserting into the court forms, because they're going to have a little box and you're going to fill that all in. And so here, I'm going to show you on a screen share here what we're talking about with the court forms. So this is a general PDF fillable court form to look at. You're going to put the information about your case here. And the second page is where you include your monthly personal income schedule. This monthly amount is important because when you're calculating child support, the court needs to look at your gross monthly income pre-tax. So you can see here they can ask you what's your year-to-date, and that's a way for you to calculate your income. And again, you want to make sure that that matches up. And then you have the hourly wage as a way of doing this and getting your information, or you can show your annual salary. One of the other things that I do is I will add a note to the document or insert a field to explain what we did or how we did our math so that the court will see the information clearly matches up to the paycheck stubs that are attached. Now, if you have other sources of income, then put that in here. And if there are bonuses or if you get housing allowance or overtime, you're going to want to be clear and honest about that and then total it up for the court. The monthly deductions, you can use your paychecks, get the averages, and insert that so that you can provide that information as best you can to the court. Now, if you have self-employment, this portion gets a little bit more complicated. So for today's discussion, we're not going to go and dive into the details of this, but really what your actual income will be that you're taking home and getting taxed on is what the court is looking at. Although for a whole nother video, we can go into more details on the business expense issues. The other mistake that I see your average person make is they don't pay enough attention to this section on personal expenses. You're going to want to make sure that the information that's shown in here is based on actual bills that you have. And so you're going to want to take an average of the information there, and you're going to want to show that to the court so that way you're putting true information in there. You know, under best circumstances, you do a little homework, you dig into your bank statements, and you figure out what the actual average is over the course of 12 months. If you're under the gun and you don't have time for that, at least pull last month or pull the last few months and average it out so that you're basing your numbers on something that's real. And the court, again, has trust in you. You've done it right. You're not on the up and up, and you're disclosing everything clearly. And when it comes time to evaluating you, that credibility that you have with the court in this document matters. The last part here is when you're signing this document, and I'll screen share again so that you can see it, at the bottom of your document, one of the things you're doing here after you enter some of the other portions of this document, you are actually attesting to the truthfulness of the information. So you're required to sign this here in this block, and you're attaching your 3 most recent pay stubs. You're providing the year-to-date income if you have profit and loss statements for self-employment. And you're telling the court that you swear under penalty of perjury that you've read this and you followed the instructions and you understand it, and it's truthful information. That's the key. You're providing truthful information to the court so they can evaluate what's going on. So I hope this information helps you, and you can make sure that you put truthful information in there. And if you have a hard to calculate issue, have someone check it, make sure it makes sense with someone that you trust, and then you're signing that document and you know that it's going to be something that you can stand by. And if the court asks you questions about it, you know you did your homework and you did a good job on it. So thank you for visiting us on this channel. And if you want more information on other topics, feel free to come visit us at lawyersforfamilies.com, or give us a call if you have questions or want to set up an appointment. You can call us at 775-636-8200. Thanks so much.